Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 17th, and this is update number 2. The storm is underway here, folks. We have severe thunderstorm watches. We have an active current severe thunderstorm warning across central Oregon. We have tons of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, and we have hundreds of lightning strikes combined in total when you count them all. And that's going to be riding up across Washington in towards southwest BC as we go on into early tomorrow morning hours. And we have some very strong winds that are likely to be associated and some big hail. So if you have things like umbrellas or deck chairs and things out and about your yard that we might typically have here across Pacific Northwest in our summertime when we don't typically get these severe storms, get those situated and put away and get stuff tied down because it could get wild for some select locations. So let's take a look at the mid-level water vapor loop. As you can clearly see, we've already had hundreds of lightning strikes ongoing. There's been a few thunderstorms across Washington also. And again, you can clearly see where this activity is coming. You don't need a meteorologist to tell you that there's a lot of lightning that's going to be rolling across the area as we go through the nighttime tonight. So again, we kind of extended some of this marginal risk for the wind threat across the Seattle Metro and the Puget Sound. And if I were the SPCI, I would have this all the way up to Puget Sound because some of the high resolution models are showing some very strong winds ripping across the northern Puget Sound as well as the central sound. And this is mainly a wind and hail threat, as I've mentioned before. This is for tomorrow. We're going to skip that and stick to the weather at hand right now. But we do have the severe thunderstorm watch again across much of Oregon into southern Washington. I don't know if they plan to extend that across some of western Washington. I would not blame them if they did. But you can see the main risk, again, severe wind and severe hail. Now, taking a look at the simulated infrared satellite imagery, this is the latest NAM. And as we go through the day today, you can see this thunderstorm activity riding up across western Washington, these very cold cloud tops, very unstable atmosphere. We are going to be looking at potentially thousands of lightning strikes moving up and across the area on in through Sunday morning. Now, I just want to kind of marvel at this because this K index is absolutely wild. This is the instability in the atmosphere, and this is as unstable as I can remember here across the region. Just a truly unique event is going to be unfolding tonight, which could be unleashing some damaging winds, prolific lightning producing storms, maybe even some big hail, and there is flooding potential as well. We're going to dive into some of that here in a moment. But now to look at the wind speed. So this is 80-meter wind speed, and you can see as these storms are riding north, they've got some winds with them, and they really start to pick up across northern Oregon here, blasting out into eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and then you can see this line of storms kind of move across the area here. This is just sustained winds, and we've got some pretty strong winds coming up the Puget Sound tonight as well. So that's why I want to get everything tied down. Those deck chairs put away and those umbrellas and whatnot, or any sunshade you might have out there. You guys still have a few hours to do that. Now, taking a look at the accumulated 10-meter max wind gust. So let's scroll through here. I wanted to zoom in because look at some of these speeds showing up in some of these model runs. It seems like every other run in the HRRR has some just an extreme winds across some of the Kitsap Peninsula. Perhaps the Seattle metro area, gusts to 50 miles per hour, would do some pretty severe tree damage at this time of year. A lot of trees are in full leaf, and you can see this, maybe some mid-50s, I-5 corridor between Tacoma and Olympia, and then this rides northward. So this is why I would extend that severe wind all the way up towards the lower mainland here of British Columbia and southwest BC. These are mean gusts with trees fully leaved. This will definitely be causing damage and doing power outages here. But again, it's going to kind of be fairly isolated. You can see how some areas get a bit skipped over here, and some areas are definitely in the much stronger winds. And it's kind of been just flopping all over the place. If you go back and check latest runs and whatnot, it kind of seems to change. And this, the 21Z again backed off. So kind of perfectly in tune here. You can see some areas on some runs are much stronger versus others. And I mean, look at that out across the North Seattle area, some pretty strong winds showing up. So if we take a look at also, I want to kind of show you this. This is updraft helicity. So this kind of shows you the rotation in some of these storms. These are rotating supercellular storms that could be riding up towards the Seattle Metro and across some of the Oregon Cascades. Some of these could be trying to come out towards the I-5 corridor in Oregon as we go through the next few hours as well. So yeah, very potent storm coming in here. Now, taking a look at the composite reflectivity, this is the North American model, again, hot off the presses versus the high resolution rapid refresh. And we have pretty good agreement here. You can see right about 8 p.m. these storms starting to come up towards the Kitsap Peninsula, riding across the southern Washington Cascades. And about 9 p.m., this should be going across the Seattle Metro, but the NAM has taken a little bit longer to get that further north. But you can see across some Hood Canal and some areas north of Seattle, it kind of gets going a little bit earlier, but then you can see the very heavy precipitation kind of moving up and across the region. And this should be bringing lightning all the way towards southwest BC. This would be about 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Pretty good model agreement there overall. If we take a look at the lightning flash density potential, and so this is where we are. What are we, about 4 o'clock right now? So that's right now. And you can see it is kind of capturing the lightning fairly well. But as you can see, there's already been hundreds of strikes just in this. So as this moves up across Washington, look at some of these individual cells crossing I-5, Kelso out there, Chehalis, Olympia, Tacoma, Seattle. Just an extreme lightning show likely as we go through tonight. And this stops at about midnight here, but that's definitely going to come to southwest BC. So something else I want to point out here, this is 1 hour precipitation totals. And once you get over a half an inch in an hour, you can really cause some flooding here across the Pacific Northwest, especially over burn scar areas or in urban settings. So you can see, look at this, some ridiculous totals showing up in some of these storms, 2+ inches, 1.5+ inches there. Now look at these move across the Washington Cascades, 1.5 inches maybe in some of these storms. And again, this is just 1 hour totals. And look at across the Seattle Metro, just off to the south and east, maybe across maybe Redmond, 405 out here. Yeah, Tacoma, just some intense precipitation totals showing up, and more on that here in a moment as well. But yeah, that would definitely be causing some urban flooding. So don't go out and about if you don't have to. And kind of showing you the profile here, we have some very nice turning in the atmosphere. This is almost just a pure tornado profile with a very unstable layer. The only thing here is the question of just how much surface cape we have. So we're not looking, at some kind of tornado outbreak coming up here, but definitely the possible hazard type, as you can see, severe storms clearly right there. And the D cape right there, the winds. So that kind of correlates with strong, severe wind gusts. And once you get over 1,000, you're looking at moderate to high potential for some of those wind gusts. And right there, it's 1155. So we definitely have the potential. And I think I took the sounding just north of Seattle, or maybe in Seattle on the north side of the city. And again, another look at one here. Again, the D Cape, this was clicked on just east of Seattle, over 1,200. So definitely we have the chance for some severe wind gusts as we go through this evening. And look at this, even the conservative European, look at how much precipitation, just about maybe in an hour, hour and a half that it drops at SeaTac Airport. This is not a cherry-picked spot on the map. I just ran the SeaTac total precipitation here, and you can see that it drops an inch that fast. That would definitely have some flooding potential with it. The mean is a bit lower, down towards half an inch here. But the NAM 3KM, this is the 3 hour totals, and look at some of these amounts. You're talking, up over 3 inches in a 3 hour period, and a lot of it is going to becoming quicker in a quicker period than the 3 hour period. Sorry, I'm kind of tripping on my words there. But now take a look at, this is Pierce County. This is the European Ensemble. And as you can see, a lot of areas are going to be getting a lot of rain really quickly as we go through the evening tonight. So anyway, just wanted to give you that update. The storm is on its way, folks. Hopefully you guys are prepared. And again, now is the time to prepare across Western Washington and hopefully across maybe Portland. You still have a little bit of time, looks like, before the thunderstorm activity is going to be rolling in. And again, some very strong winds east of the mountains as well. So if you need to put stuff away, if you're in Yakima, Tri-Cities across the Columbia Basin, Eastern Oregon, the Dalles, get it done right now. If you need to put those sunshades up, put those umbrellas away, put those deck chairs away, now is the time to do it. We're preparing here at my house as well. So anyway, I'm going to be out and about chasing. I may do a live stream here once I set up, so maybe you guys can join me for that. But anyway, just wanted to put this out here. The storm is on its way. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I may see you in the live stream tonight. And otherwise, hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys later.